Hello, Internet.
This is a test for the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Good morning. I was apparently pretty tired last night because I did an outro where I was like, yeah, maybe I won't work on the car for a while, and it's just the most silly thing ever because I had just gone to BC Racing and picked up coilovers for the car. I obviously had been in the car too long and not had enough to eat when I said that. Looks like today's gonna be another day of working on the car. I'm gonna get these Megans pulled off the car and shipped to their new owner over in California. We're gonna unbox these BC Racing coilovers, go over them a little bit, and then install them. I'm gonna spare you guys the pleasantries of actually doing a step-by-step installation process because it seems like every guy on YouTube is doing that, and I'm sure there are a million tutorials on how to install them. But there'll be some flossy shots of the car. We'll get to go ahead and get them installed and get the ride height dialed in and go take it for a test drive. That leads me to the next thing. I figured out what the breaking up issue was. I have a bad coil pack. It was failing when I was at the track. The last day of the event, we got home. Mike had never ridden in my car, and so he wanted to go rip it around Street Shark a little bit. So we went to downtown Naples, and we were just kind of being ignorant, doing pulls and stuff, and the car shut off. We actually met some kids, and they gave us a ride back to the house so that Mike could get his truck and trailer, and he actually had to tow me home. Super embarrassing, really shitty. And I got on the horn with Brian from Unicorn Garage, and he told me that if the coolant temp sensor is working and everything else is working, to check the coil packs, and I followed his instructions, and sure enough, the coil pack on the 3/4 bank of my engine was fried. It made no difference whether I plugged it or unplugged it. The car sounds like a freaking Subaru. I will do a little startup for you so you guys can hear it for yourself. I don't want to let it run too long. I just cleaned the plugs and it's running pig rich because it's only firing on 4 cylinders. With that said, big shout out to Kenny Vo from Portland, who actually express shipped me some OEM coil packs. Aftermarket coil packs, which are what I had before, are always a little hit or miss. I know a lot of people that don't really trust them, Unicorn Garage included, myself included, so I'm really excited to get those coil packs installed. They're supposed to be here today with the mail, USPS, so provided that everything happens without a ton of complication, we should have the car on the ground on BC's shredding with no breakup issues by the end of the day. I decided to run a pretty soft spring with the coilovers that I got. It's going to be an 8K front, 12K rear, but also Cody included some 18K springs because of the common issue with E46 being low, where the upper control arm spring perch actually contacts the frame rails of the car. I know I'm pretty close, within a few centimeters for sure, but we'll see kind of whether I hear some knocking noises from the back end after we get it all installed. One thing I wanted to share with you guys is when you order a set of custom coilovers from BC, you get this super sweet card, and it actually tells you who built the coilovers, how they were built, what spring rates were used, what components were used, what series coilovers they are, etc., in case you forget, which is good because I didn't ask Cody while I was there. I'm one of those kind of dudes who just kind of, you know, one of the smartest things you can do in life is to leave things to the experts, and taking good advice is just as good as having good ideas. When it came to the coilovers that I had on the last car, I really just left the ball in their court. I think I mentioned that yesterday. So I'm, you know, super stoked that Cody was able to make that happen for me. It was really cool to see their facility. BC Racing has supported me since day one, since I was but a wee tadpole in drifting. I'm really stoked to be able to go down and check out their facility and shake Cody's hand and give him a hug. Thanks again, dude. I really, really appreciate it. Cannot wait to get these things installed, put on the car, and go give the car a rip. One other thing I will say about Florida is, man, the morning time is amazing. I love the mornings here. It is quiet, the birds are chirping, the weather is beautiful. There's a nice little layer of dew on everything because of the humidity. it will really promote you to get up early. I was super jet lagged for the first few days I was here. Made it feel like it was 3 hours earlier than it actually was, and so whenever I would get up at 9, it felt like 6 my time. And I'm finally starting to adjust. I've been waking up between 6:30 and 7 every day, and I'm super glad to be sort of back into my own schedule. And that means when I come back to Oregon, I'll have a head start on waking up early there, because it'll be 3 hours later. So a little bit of free sleep-in time. Once I get some coffee in me and I update a few things on the internet, sit on my laptop for 20 or 30 minutes, I'm probably gonna go get into the garage, get the car up in the air, and start getting this done. Coffee down, stuff updated, time to do stuff to the car. I got started a little bit already. The wheels are off. I got one of the Megans off the car. Right now I'm gonna start dinking around with the springs that I've got. This is a 12K, this is an 18K, and that is the spring that Jacob from Don Musk sent me. So we're gonna see which of these will work the best with the system. I'd really like to go as light as possible and not hit stuff or bottom out. So it's gonna probably take some experimentation. Here we go. Rear coilovers are on, ride height is just right, check it out. Time to do the fronts. Okay, baby. Slide up there. Will this rotate to where I can adjust caster? Like that.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Stick it up in there so it adds caster.
Okay.
Because I don't need the camber adjustment, it's all the way in.
Push.
I'm pushing. Is that so it adds a front back caster?
Yeah, this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Give me nuts.
Sean, the owner of SLR, told me that these cars benefit from additional caster.
You see that?
You get more throw out of that thing if you weren't underneath the jacket.
That's literally as far as it goes down.
Oh, really? Oh, it will be refreshing. This is really our problem.
I had to buy the game, it's like 65 bucks. First thing you do is the last final little fucking like flick. Hey bro, I saw that you go to Up Garage sometimes, bro. Can you be like my plug, bro? No, bro, I need one MB battle, bro. How much would that be, bro?
Yo, will you check the engine bay to make sure it's clear of shit?
Damn. This guy's all, yo, I'm an Uber driver and I straight dead ass just dropped the dude off at my girlfriend's place.
Pretty sure, yeah.
It wasn't the coil packs.
Sick.
Not sick.
Nobody.
Hot boys.
Hot boys?
Hot boys.
Hot boys. Nice and cool. Look at that here.
We are currently chasing a gremlin all over the engine bay, trying to figure out why only 2 of the 6 cylinders of this JZ are firing. There's 12 volts at the connector plug for the coil packs, and there's continuity between the ECU and the coil packs. We're trying to get that figured out. I didn't want to bore you guys with like 6 hours of us poking around the engine bay. We were up late last night. So we're back here today in the garage trying to get this done. The BC coilovers are installed. Installation went smooth and perfect. Really love their products. Can't wait to go out and see how they feel compared to what I had on the car prior. I was able to get the car to a really nice and desirable ride height using 12K springs. Check it out. And I haven't dialed in the front fitment yet. The springs tend to settle a little bit in the front, so I'm gonna go drive the car around for a couple of miles once I get it running, and then we'll do an adjustment from there. That catches us up to right now. The mail just came. I've got a package from Chase Space, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what we've got. Awesome. This is the Chase Bay's compact pull-up style handbrake, designed for a dual caliper system as evidenced by the external reservoir. We have got what looks like a handle for it, also a really trick item that's really cool, and a line kit for BMW E46 chassis. So come early next week, once we hopefully get the car running, we're gonna drive it up to Drift HQ in Fort Myers, get all this stuff installed and pop that clutch in there. We've got our buddy Adam from Jackson Performance coming over. He's braving the 2-hour drive to get over here to try to help diagnose this coil pack issue. He should be here any minute, and I'll be sure to bring you guys along and we'll see if we can get this figured out. You see this? Mm-hmm. This thing is nice.
I've always wanted one, to be honest. That's what I wanted.
All these like snap rings in it and everything. It's really cool.
Now that
it's got this nice like semi-matte finish, it's gonna look really good in the car. Look at this. This isn't even.
I wanted to get this.
This isn't even like a stock reservoir for the Willwood. This is like a custom, like CNC'd. Look at that. Well, I'm really impressed with it. One of the main reasons that I didn't want to run a hydro is because they're so unsightly in a street car. You're just like, you know, it can be kind of goofy to have a street car and then have this pullback hydro sticking up through your center console. You've got to cut everything out. It's just, you know, it just gives this sort of try-hard vibe sometimes that I'm kind of trying to steer away from with this new build. The FC was like full-blown race car, stripped interior, cage. You know, the pullback hydro really fit the build, but with this car, I was really hoping that I could get the cable handbrake going, but that just wasn't gonna happen. And all the feedback I've gotten since posting the videos about it and stuff, everyone said the same thing, that it'll lock a 16x8 wheel no problem with the right adjustment and good pads, but 18x12 heavy 3-piece wheel like a Garson is just no match for it. So this is really cool. I think it's gonna match the aesthetic of the interior really well and just mesh with everything. I do have a tannin rot, that's the red in the interior, a tannin rot shift boot back in Oregon that I'm having shipped, and so provided we get this thing plumbed up correctly, we might even be able to get that shift boot to stick around the end of this hydro and basically make it look almost stock.
Where's those screws?
Oh, they're in my pocket. Yeah, we got Adam from Jackson Performance doing house calls. Taking notes, yep. Being way smarter than me. Gross, random people.
Hey.
Make them feel bad.
Hey, what's up?
Fuck off. No, I don't fucking roast people to make them feel bad.
I'm item B now.
You gotta
Get out of
Oh Lord.
Be nice to people.
Maybe someday is what I'll say.
Maybe someday what?
He said, "Can I do a photo shoot of your car?"
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday rock
Say, of course.
automatic.
No, you say of course, bro.
He has fake followers.
That's fine. You just say of course, bro. Of course. Of course you can. Tomorrow. Come to where I'm at.
I might be now.
Okay, so tell him. Like, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Oh, okay. So you're using my following for, like, shameless self-promotion.
Hey, no one gets to the top by playing clean, bruh.
Alright. Alright. Send them all your way, bro. You get that shit.
No, hey.
This guy sent a bunch of photos of Jake's car and made in Forza and your car.
Me and Jake.
Who does that? Thanks, boo.
Thank you.
Kissy emoji.
Thanks, boo. Kissy emoji.
Yeah.
You are the fucking man, dude. Like, you just handle my business, dude. Shit is chill.
M3 axle question mark.
You're like, sorry.
Whole reader.
Evan's on a dog bed. I can't respond for him. But I can tell you what I would do. An M3 mirror, yeah, we'll do an M3 mirror. We'll do a few of them. We'll do 2 of them. One for the driver's side, one for the passenger side. Every response needs a good response. You have to treat everyone with respect, the whole 9 yards.